Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's DJ McCree of Track ENT, and today we're going to be talking about keeping it simple. And what keeping it simple is just a concept of just like when you're mixing a track that you don't add too much to it. And when you add too much to a track, you overcomplicate it, meaning that you actually end up doing a lot of things, which means you lose track of what you're doing with your mix. And as you can see right here, this is a perfect example. This track itself is actually not done by me. It is done, and I was engineering a track for Mac of 808 Mafia. I will be playing the track in about 3, 2, 1. So when it gets that countdown, you know what it is. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play the track. So yeah, we're gonna play it in 3, 2, 1. So the track is not fully laid out. It wasn't up. Actually, it was up to me to actually arrange it. I still can arrange it if I want to. Just holler at Mac and just go ahead and arrange the track. And yeah, and that would be I'd be engineering and arranging. But more importantly, as you can see, if we're to count the actual track numbers, it's actually 8 tracks. It's actually 9. I actually heard something that was actually laid on another track, because I think it's in the lead in 7. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'll correct that a little later. And by Mac's discretion, he does not want me to show all his tidbits and stuff that he used. So I'm not gonna share like all the stuff he did with to make the beat. I apologize, guys, for those who was looking forward to taking or swag stealing or whatever. I understand, but anyways, so once again, it's a total of 8 tracks, really 9 tracks, but the whole entire concept is keeping it simple. Is just making sure that you just have like the least amount of tracks and stuff like that, but you work with more than enough official melodies and whatnot to make the track efficient. So that way, you don't make as many mistakes. So we actually talk about the track. So the lead itself was the proper adjustments were made. When I first heard it, it was like this. And the first thing that I realized is that that has to be actually turned down. The best thing about this is that Mac actually knew that within using that lead melody himself, that it had too much bass. So what he did was he actually subtracted bass by using the simple EQ right here, over here, the parametric EQ right here, that's built into it. So he ducked off the lower frequencies, and then he just made it like a little resonance peak notch right here in the midsection, just so it could actually stand out a little bit more than it needed, because it probably was a little too dull from the beginning. So I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it down and see what it is. Let's see what it does. Yeah. Now, one thing now that I turned that up, just a little bit of low frequencies wouldn't hurt, But again, just trying to keep it as simple as possible and kind of just give it what it needs, so that the track carries. The second melody itself, he ducked it off, but he actually used the fruity love filter, and I don't know the actual preset, so I'm not gonna even mess with that because well, hold on, I can actually look, see. I see it has an LFO in it, and the LFO is modulating what? does it use a specific? Oh, okay. Only the first one is activated. So, and the Fruity Love filter is kind of difficult to deal with. I've been lost. I don't know. Oh, wave shaper. Oh, so basically this is using a little bit of asymmetrical distortion and adding that to that sound, but it's not doing anything quite drastic to the dynamic range, but it's giving it just a little bit of a hint of distortion just to kind of make the melody pop, I guess. So another key thing about when you're mixing and whatnot. Now I go to the snare part. Yep. Right about here, I guess. Yeah. The thing about the snare that what was it? So the thing about the snare itself was the fact that the snare was not popping enough. It didn't have enough presence. So I'm just gonna go ahead and subtract a few things that I actually did to it. And this is actually something that anybody could do in general. The main thing is, as you can hear, as I removed the limiter, is that the snare is not loud enough. It wasn't thick enough. And you know, there are certain things that didn't give it enough presence or whatnot. So loud, I was just saying, loud and well, thick and big. Ooh, that's gay as fuck. But oh, pardon me, guys. But anyways, the whole purpose of the fruity limiter is to actually kind of make it louder, but at the same time kind of crush the peaks. And you know, there's different kinds of drum compression in there that's very useful. As you can see, you got drum compression 1, drum compression 2, and drum compression 3. Drum compression 3 is not as crunchy as drum compression 2 and drum compression 1. But I mean, yeah, as drum compression 1. But the most useful one is drum compression 1, because in this instance, because you know, I wanted to be loud. I wanted to have just a little bit of crunch to it, so that you know, it'd be the actual snare itself would be crispy, so it will actually stand out in the drum beat. But at the same time, I did not want it to be too loud, so limiting it and whatnot would cause it from being too loud in the mix. So you know, that was that right there. The second thing that was done to make it to give it the snare some more presence in the mix was adding this particular preset right here within the parametric EQ, and that was this right here. And it's this preset S, which is this. It is called Snare Drum Enhance, and as you can see, Snare Drum Enhance actually brings up just the mid. It brings up the mids and then the mid highs, and then ducks the mid high resonance down back to its normal presence at its highest part of the spectrum, so that it is not, it doesn't have too much high. So when you actually go and play this beat on a different peripheral or whatever device or whatever, during this final mix, that the snare is not too high, and you know how snares sound when they have too much tweeter. It doesn't sound very appealing, at least not now, scientifically, to music or trap music. So you know, that gave it that. The one thing that I really liked about this was the bass, but there was something that was done to the bass. Two things that was done to the bass: gross beat, to give it the bass some type of shape other than its gross beat was added, you know, just like something that to give the bass some type of different shape other than just a regular boom boom boom. You know, if I actually turn that off and play it where the bass is playing, kind of boring. So giving it a gross beat actually gives it some a different, you know, and consider that a bonus technique, because maybe that might have been something that 808 Mafia didn't want people to know, but it's something that I knew. If I actually teach that in How to Trap, I think 13 and 14. But yeah, the gross beats can be used for such things like that. And for those who are wondering how they can get Camel Crusher, you can actually get Camel Crusher on my website at djabmccree.net/store. for free. It's a free plugin. Camel Audio is no longer a company, probably because they had Camel Crusher free and they had Camel Fat for kind of a sort of ridiculous price when they were selling it. And Camel Crusher in general, it was the free plugin that was way better than Camel Fat, and there was no real reason to buy Camel Fat because of Camel Crusher. But yeah, I use British Clean here. And what British Clean is actually doing is adding some tube and I don't know what the heck that is, but just adding tube saturation, and you know, just adding a wee bit more of the distortion characteristics, which is kind of carries on to from a square wave. If you actually look at the parameters of your distorted 808s through the oscilloscope right here, and you'll kind of see it. It's a little too small, but as you can see, it's not a perfect sine. It has some square transients, square harmonics in the actual not kick drum, the actual 808 Mafia. But yeah, so you know, that actually added a little bit more punch to needed punch, or oomph, or whatever you want to call it, to the 808, you know. But once again, you know, you can get Camel Crusher, and you know, check out Free Download Fridays because it was free. A lot of cool free stuff. But anyways, yeah, so that part of the mix, and I don't know, I can actually talk about the whole entire vocal thingy right here. You know, having vocals or whatever, you know, you kind of want them to sit in this that particular division. So you know, so you have because you don't want your tag to be too loud, because tags are pretty much the life of music production in general. You know, you don't hear them so much in country music or whatever. You hear more in like pop and hip hop or whatever, that you hear like more vocal stabs. But as time goes past, you will hear a lot more vocal effects in music in general. It's just the nature of the beast in the future. That's why I already have that as well. So you know, you might want to check that out. I'll have a demo for that later. But anyways, so we, you know, kind of get back into it. So when you bring this all together, you know, you have much. Oh no, let me actually talk about the kick drum. So the kick drum itself, it was loud, but it didn't have enough punch. All I did was simply put on a sound goodalizer. The reason why I used a lot of stock presets in FL Studio for this mix is because I, for one, have once again, I have many professional plugins, but a lot of them are eye locked. And you know, me just going back and forth and trading it with him and all that stuff, man. He's in Tennessee right now, but you know, be on the lookout for our future collaboratory album from me and Mac. And I just realized that Sizzle is rapping right now, so Southside is rapping, so that's gonna be pretty awesome. Yeah, so be on the lookout for that. So we got some stuff coming in the future, some cool Schmidt. For some reason, there was Fruity Reverb there. I just turned it off. I don't know why it was there. It was just there, so I just turned it off. Because kick drums in general, you know, if you have a splash, just a splash of reverb, it won't be that bad. Mac, you are a mother effing fool. Oh, that's a dope beat. But anyways, that's basically about it. I just want to, just kind of just give everybody just like a quick pep talk, and just like some tools and tips and stuff like that of just keeping stuff simple. And I just want to use somebody else's beat that that is far ahead of me in music production in general, and kind of just break it down and like the musical talent down in terms of just keeping it simple and you'll have an efficient track. So I appreciate everybody for their time. If you like this video, give it a like. If you have any comments, just leave some comments. And as you can see, I just only use Maximus on the mastering part, but we was just talking about mixing. We'll talk about keeping it simple in terms of Maximus later. So yeah. So yeah. So if you're new to this channel, I will have plenty of stuff going up. I'll probably have I'll be interviewing Mafia Mafia. I'm gonna probably interview Swang, MDMA Swang, which is a producer songwriter that's worked with Ethan Sachi and TM88. So be on the lookout for that in the future. So subscribe. That's more stuff for you to check out. And yes, I'm DJ McCree, your friendly neighborhood engineer, sound designer, and I am out of here.